Today we are doing a lab that shows the formation process of different kinds of rocks. So what I have here are some starburst, and I'm gonna unwrap them and put them in a bowl. And now I have 4 different colored starburst. And what I'm going to do first is show the process of the starburst becoming a sedimentary rock. What do rocks need to become sedimentary rocks? What needs to happen to rocks for them to become sedimentary? If you said the rocks need to experience weathering, then you would be correct. Weathering is the process by which natural forces break down rocks. So let's show that process now by breaking down our starburst. I'm going to take a knife and very carefully I'm going to cut my starburst into smaller pieces. All right, so now I have pieces of rock. You can also call them sediments or clasts. Clasts are pieces of rock. Now I have my pieces of rock or my clasts, okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to use cementation and compaction to put these together. I'm not using a lot of heat and pressure. I just want enough that they stick together, okay? Remember, heat and pressure will give us a different kind of rock. So let's go ahead and take our pieces of rock, our sediments, and compact them and cement them together. And now we have a sedimentary rock. You see how they are all now attached to each other? Now we have a sedimentary rock. Next, let's take our rock and let's make a metamorphic rock. What do you need in order to make a metamorphic rock? If you said heat or pressure, then you are correct. A metamorphic rock is a rock formed as heat or pressure causes existing rock to change in structure, texture, or mineral composition. Okay, so that is a metamorphic rock. So now, let's apply heat and pressure to our sedimentary rock that is already existing rock, and let's make it into a metamorphic rock. I'm applying the heat from my hands and pressure also from my hands to the rock by squeezing it and covering it so that there's lots of warmth that gets to the rock. It's making my hands kind of sticky, but I think it's worth it. The different pieces of rock are now melding together, and you see there are more swirls kind of in this one. So now I have a metamorphic, quote unquote, rock, okay? I formed that rock using heat and pressure from my hands, okay? So there is my metamorphic rock. Now I'm going to take my metamorphic rock and I'm going to make it into an igneous rock. How do you get an igneous rock? What process causes the formation of an igneous rock? If you said melting and cooling, then you are correct. Remember, igneous rock is rock that forms as molten rock becomes solid, okay? So igneous rock must melt and then cool. Remember, metamorphic rocks do have heat applied to them, but they don't melt. Now I'm going to melt my metamorphic rock, and it is going to become an igneous rock when it cools. Now, I could also do this with a sedimentary rock, and it would still give me an igneous rock. Remember, any existing rock can become any other kind of rock if the right processes are applied. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use some aluminum foil to create a little bowl. Here's my foil. What I like to do is fold it into about a square, then fold up the edges.
And squeeze the corners together, like this. And then that way, I have a simple little bowl. I'll do the rest with the vacuum.
So as you can see, I'm just folding up the edges, and then I'm putting the corners together like this. And I'm making my little aluminum foil bowl, okay? So I'm gonna just squeeze those edges together and make my little bowl. All right, I'm gonna kind of bend that way. You wanna leave a little bit so that it's easier to hold because it's gonna get kind of warm. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm gonna use, there we go. I'm going to use a little bit of a like almost a handle for it. Okay. And then I'm going to use not a hot plate because it got a little too hot with a hot plate, but a candle warmer. Okay. Make sure you're always careful if you are using something hot that you have protection against that heat. I'm going to switch it on. I'm going to put my metamorphic rock into my little aluminum foil bowl, and I'm going to put my bowl onto my hot plate. And then I'm going to let that sit for a little while until it melts. There you have it. We created an igneous rock by melting and then allowing our rock to cool. All right, so today we made a sedimentary, a metamorphic, and an igneous rock using Starburst. To get our sedimentary rock, we used weathering and erosion by breaking the Starburst into smaller pieces and then compacting it together. Then to make our metamorphic rock, we used heat and pressure to smush those rock pieces even closer together and morph them into a new type of rock. Then we melted our rock in order to get our igneous rock once it was cooled. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this tasty lab.